Hey, welcome back to Bourbon Barry's Basement Speakeasy. So today I wanted to talk about three of my favorite pours so far of 2025. I know it's just October, kind of early for a top list, so I'm not necessarily saying that this is the definitive list, but these are three pours that have definitely risen to the top, things that I find that are outstanding. In no particular order. Number one is this Jack Daniel's single barrel heritage barrel. So I'm a big fan of Jack Daniel's. I don't think there's really anything that I don't like. Old number seven may be good for a mixer, but other than that, from bonded all the way up, I don't know if I've ever really met a Jack Daniel's pour that I really haven't liked. But this one to me stands out for a couple of reasons. Number one, at least in the New York area, you can find this, and you can find this at a reasonable price, around $70, which I think for what you're getting here is reasonable. And I just think that this is super enjoyable, tasty. It's got a sweeter profile, comes in at 100 proof, and I think that if you can find one of these, I don't think you'd be disappointed. It is rich and sweet. Sometimes on these Jack Daniels, I almost get like a chocolate brownie kind of note, but it's rich and sweet. It has a nice long finish, really tasty, really pleasant. Haven't met anybody yet who hasn't liked this. So this is one, if you happen to find it, this is one to hunt for. I don't think you'd be sorry. So that's number one. Number two, this one is something that you may not have heard of before. So this comes from Middle West Spirits. Middle West Spirits is based out of Columbus, Ohio, and I haven't met anything out of Middle West Spirits that I don't think is really superb. This one in particular is their ported pumpernickel rye. So if you have a trouble finding these, the pumpernickel rye is super interesting. I don't really know what makes it pumpernickel. A different type of grain maybe, but this one happens to be finished in port barrels, 5 years of age. This is 99.5 proof, and this is just rich and unique. It's not the same old, but it's sweet, rich. You get this really nice. I hate to use the word spice because it's not spicy like in a hot sauce kind of way, but there is just a lot of interesting flavors, a long finish. That port finish, I think, is nice. It's not overdone. You can take a look at the color here. It's deep and rich. But Middle West Spirits, if you can't find this one, look for their ported wheat whiskey, which is fantastic, either port or there's a sherry finish that are just, again, I think it's a great addition to your bar now that the weather's starting to cool down a little bit. These kind of deep, rich, satisfying sips. So this is Middle West Spirits. Again, if you can find anything from them, I think you can get them online too. It's just super tasty and never get tired of it. And then the third one. So had the pleasure of being at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival this year. And if you haven't been there, there's kind of two sides. There's the heritage side with the larger brands, and then there's the craft side. So there were a few. I mean, the craft side to me is the fun place to be anyway. You can have more conversations. You can meet the master distiller, get some interesting pours. So I spent a lot of my time over there. But there were a few tents that had the buzz. One of them was Dark Arts. Another was Whiskey Thief. But probably, as far as I could see, the biggest lines that I could see were from the Augusta Distillery. And these Buckners are unbelievable. So good. Now, there were people lined up, especially on the first morning, on Friday morning at the KBF, because they were releasing some of these 15-year buff turkeys. I kind of passed that, just that for the price tag. It wasn't really what I was looking for. But I had the pleasure of trying a couple of different expressions at Preet Liquors, which is near me up in New Windsor, New York. They had this nice event, and they had the 8, the 10, and the 13. And I kind of settled on this 10-year single barrel because I kind of found it to be like that Goldilocks as far as, let's say, price versus age. And I know at Preet Liquors, I don't get a commission for this, don't make a penny of it, but if you go to preetliquor.com, they are blowing these out at $139, which I think is a really, really good price. But these I don't know where they're getting the distillate from, but these Augusta Distillery Buckner's single barrels, you can't miss. And this is, again, rich, deep flavors. It's funny because, like, obviously it doesn't go through the Lincoln County process. It's not a Tennessee whiskey like the Jack Daniels, but there's just something about it that has those kind of similar, rich, like chocolatey notes, a lot of spice too. I just think this is one of the best things I've had of the year. If I had to probably rank, I don't know, maybe like I think maybe be a toss up between the JD and the Augusta, but I think this is a company to look out for. There's lots of picks out there. They're really good. So those are my three so far for this year. There's a whole bunch of other ones. I've got some other honorable mentions I could talk about here too, but maybe we'll save that for another video. But let me know what you're thinking, like what you like this year, and also obviously. If you, I appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna definitely for going into the end of this year and going into 2026, gonna focus more on the YouTube format too, for a variety of reasons. But I definitely appreciate if you comment here and you subscribe to my channel too, and let me know what kind of content you're looking for. So anyway, there you go. Have a great day. I'll be back with you guys soon, and thanks for watching. Cheers.